Welcome to the Knit Sip Happy podcast. Today is Sunday, March 4th. It's a beautiful sunny day here in New Brunswick on the east coast of Canada, and I am joined today by Sophie.
Hi.
We're doing a shared podcast today, so we're going to do half here and half on her channel, and we're going to talk about our finished objects and our whips, and just have a little chat and Q&A and get to know each other a little more, other than we're obsessive knitters, because I think that's, you know, other than hockey mom and obsessive knitter, you know, we need to learn a little more about each other. So that's the plan. So we're going to try and divide up our content a little bit so you can go to both channels and watch different parts. First things first, we're both wearing our Orbits sweaters by Unwind Knitwear, who is Rachel Ilsley. We still are not sure about the pronunciation on that. Right. So I'm just going to stand up and show you and give you a little tour of mine, and then Sophie will give a little tour of hers on her episode. Cheers, by the way. It's Sophie's on coffee and I'm already on red wine because, you know, it's my trend at this point. If I change. All right. So this is the Orbits sweater. It's fingering weight color work, and I was showing this as a whip. This has been on my needles since my birthday last year, April, which is a long time for me. So this was the first time I had done color work below the sleeve split. You as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Normally for me, yoke color work kind of ends here, and then you split for the sleeve. So hang on. Hold please, I'm having thoughts. My brain is racing.
Go ahead.
So I did mine with my A-line increases that I like. So I've had stitch markers on each side of my body, and I did make one right, make one left increases on each side just to give me that A-line shape that I like. Other than that, there were no modifications other than the sleeve ones that are included in the pattern. So I'm going to sit down and hang on one sec. We just scooted the camera a little closer, so maybe the volume's better. And so the sleeve pickup, I found it challenging. I messaged Sophie going, how did you manage the sleeve pickup? I wanted to do the pattern says you can add an extra 6 stitches, and there's a separate chart to include those 6 stitches. And I wanted to do that because I do have a beefy bicep, and I needed that extra space. But yeah, the pickup was challenging.
Yes, very brain. You need a lot of brain power for that one. And it's not, I don't know. I think I needed a lot of brain power. I don't know. Because once I did it, then I was like, oh, okay. But it took me a long time to figure out.
Agreed. And the second one I just picked up and it went.
Exactly.
So
you did it the right way. So you started the second one right after, but I didn't. So I had to go back. I was like, oh no, I know what to do. So, and when I sat down again and I'm like, what? I did that for for 45 minutes. And then I'm like, just, okay, whatever.
Yeah. My husband walked by and he looked at me. He says, I can practically see smoke coming out of your ears. He says, what are you trying to do? And I'm like, and I showed him the chart and he's like, no, I'm out.
I think it's just because it's asking you to continue on with the color work, and then you're not quite sure where you were and on which row you have to start. Anyway.
And the beginning of round, and where you're going to put those 6 extra stitches, and I really just need to get out of my own head and follow the instructions.
Absolutely. No, it's true. And I remember the first time when I tried to do it, it was a Friday night. And I was like, and then I did that for like an hour, and I looked at it and I kept reading, and then I'm like, whatever. And then I started again on Saturday.
Yeah. It needs to be, like I said, it's not difficult. The instructions are great. It's not difficult. It's just the brain.
And it's not something we've never done that before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Love it. I've got, what's the name of the pattern? The one with the textured yoke. You won it as a giveaway, and I bought it afterwards.
The sculpt. You have it too?
I bought it, yeah. Yeah, and I'm already thinking I really want to do that. So instead of having the color work, it's got a texture stitch yoke that's just awesome. Beautiful. So yeah, I want to.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. maybe in the fall.
Yes.
We'll do a mini, and then we got summer knits on that are incoming. So in the fall we should do a mini knit along. And
I think so. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, you're the reason I made this. I saw this on your podcast and went, oh yeah.
As soon as I saw it on Ravelry, I'm like, this is
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I knit mine, just as a refresher, I knit mine in Sweet Skein of Mine, being boho as the main color and my hand spun as the yoke color. And I went through 3 skeins of the Sweet Skein of Mine and only not even a half a skein of the hand spun. So I still have 150 grams left. So it may be a fun color work hat, cowl. It's something.
I absolutely love the color combo. Yeah. It's just so good.
Yeah,
and your hand spun is so nice.
Yeah, it's got my teal in there, I on brand. Yeah. And I bought the Being Boho and I loved it, but I worried it was a little too young and pinky. But by adding in this color work in a darker color, I really think it shines.
It does.
Yeah, so super happy with that.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I love it.
All right, so we decided I'll do my FOs. Yeah, and then you'll do, because we only have one other.
Yes,
FO.
I do.
So we're a little light on FOs. For me, it's only been a couple of weeks since I podcast. So because I had all the big news to share with you last time. And thank you for all the congratulations and wonderful messages. And Friday, March 10th, I'll be able to actually show you the socks and we'll be able to start sharing our pictures. Sophie was a tester for me. So yeah, we've been having fun keeping the secret to ourselves. It'll be really nice to be able to... It'll be really nice to get it out there in the world. So my other FO is a pair of socks. I showed you these last time. This is using West Yorkshire Spinners. Colorway is Mallard. I knit them toe up with a Fish Lips Kiss heel with a little gusset to try and deepen that heel. As I told you before, I'm kind of playing around with heels. So I have 2. These are going into the gift pile for my daughter's fiance for Christmas. Probably. So that's it for finished objects for me.
I love that colorway.
Yeah.
Can I see it?
Yep. Yeah, and it blocks out so soft. West Yorkshire Spinners is one of those. It's kind of like Opal and Regia. It's super hard wearing, but it's got a nice vibe to it. And all I did was a knit one, purl one texture.
Okay, because that's what I was just going to ask. Yeah. There's like little bumps.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, just in the middle of the colored stripe. I just want, me and vanilla socks.
Yep.
They bore me to tears most of the time. So what I did is I just did a knit. I found, the West Yorkshire Spinners at my gauge at this size was about 5 rounds for the color. Not the self-patterning, but just the color. So I just did a knit one, purl one in the center of that stripe. So on row 3 or 4 of that stripe, just to give it a little texture and a little something.
She's so smart.
And it kept me going and moving those socks along off the needles.
It makes it just goes so well with the pattern.
Yeah, it's fun.
The color patterning.
Yeah. So that being said, means I have quite a few whips on the go. So Sophie's gonna show her FO in her podcast. So we're gonna be kind of back and forthing, but we're gonna do a little bit of whip action. We're gonna switch back and forth and do a couple whips each, and then the other rest of them will be on Sophie's. Bear with us. This is the first time we're doing this.
Very unprofessional.
So I've talked enough. Show me something.
Okay.
I haven't seen in the bags yet either, so I'm like, ooh, what do we got? What do we got?
What do we got? Okay. There goes my notes. Okay. The first one.
Oh!
I started a jelly roll blanket. I got a little bit. Yeah. So this is the Jelly Roll Blanket by Kay Jones. And I just started it. So these are all made with, no, that's not true. I was going to say with scraps, but it's not true. I've got some mini skeins on here. So these are like Sweet Skein of Mine. I was going to say, I can see
Sweet Skein of Mine in there.
This is Ravenwood. And this is Natural You, Sweet Skein of Mine. This is just sock yarn, like Evolution sock yarn that I had left. So I have some mini skeins in there. These are like leftovers. So,
So are you counting and doing a specific number of rows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm doing, I want to make all the blankets. I really, really do. Oh my God, there's like the
habitation throw.
Habitation throw.
Yeah.
There's the anthropology one.
Yeah, the round one.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what else? There's like, anyways. So, and I also wanted a like scrappy patch blanket, like the Cozy Memory.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Yeah. Okay, so I wanted that, but I wanted to do the jelly roll too. So what I did, in the pattern it says cast on whatever stitches you want. So I cast on 22 stitches. And what I did is I'm doing 18 garter bump rows.
Yep.
And then I just switched to another color. So it kind of gives you kind of like a square.
Yeah.
But it might stretch a bit more like this. I just saw that after, but it doesn't matter.
No.
This is a scrappy blanket. Yep. But anyway, so I'll get kind of like the square row. Yeah. Patchy thing. Yeah. Anyway, so that's my first whip, and I am making this on, good Lord. I think it's a 275. I think. I have my glasses.
I have a needle gauge. Would that be helpful?
Oh, you do. Oh. Yeah, I think it's whatever.
Sorry.
Whatever it asked for.
275 right there.
No.
Yeah, no, 275 up there.
Okay, yes.
Yep. 275.
I need my glasses. Yes, so that's my first.
Yeah, because I have a jelly roll blanket on the needles as well. And I had done it also with Sweet Skein of Mine with an advent from 2021. And I wanted to do the same thing, but I was doing smaller rectangles. Yes. And alternating with a neutral color. I've showed it before. I'll put a picture. Oh, the picture's going to have to go in the center today because we're... and remember me showing you that my top had gone, my rectangles all of a sudden were looking more and more like squares because I got lazy and I stopped counting my garter bumps. I just thought, well, you know, my join is here, so that's when I start the next one. Yeah. And then it just kept compounding and compounding, and my rectangles were getting longer and longer until I got to the top, and then my last rectangle was this, and not a rectangle anymore.
But it's gorgeous. That's why I cast it on mine.
Mutual inspiration. we see all these things and have to cast them on right away. But yeah, it's a fun way just to see them. I have a Cozy Memories blanket, and every time I put it on my lap, I see, you know, oh, that was this pair of socks, or that was this sweater, and you know, it's a lot of fun.
Because every time people talk about their blankets and they're showing the blankets like super big, and they're like, oh, this is this one, and I'm like, how do they remember? No, you remember. You do remember.
Yeah, you do. There's some of them you don't, but you do for the most part. I remember
the special ones. You definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
for sure.
It's lovely.
So I have. Oh, where am I going first? At the top of the pile, I guess. So this is in my Twisted Daisy red wine bag. She doesn't make bags anymore, but it's lovely. It was a Christmas present to myself, I think in 2019 or 2020. Birthday present. This is my using hand spun again.
That's so nice.
With the greens and the teals. Again, totally my jam, but the thought of this is probably going to be a Christmas gift but this is the Simple Thing scarf / shawl that I've been showing. It's just a nice easy garter. The stitch marker right here is where I was, so I had a really busy week at work this week, so I just needed some mindless garter at the end of the day that I didn't have to think about, and so I put a good 10 inches or so on that, so yay.
Absolutely, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, and this one will be a struggle. The pink one that I made earlier, it'll easily go in the gift bin, but this one, because it's my colors, I'll be very tempted to not gift this one.
It's so soft. I can't believe you you spun that. It's amazing. It
is 70% merino, 30% silk.
Oh,
from
Yum.
Fiber Imp. Yeah, and the colorway is called Scuba Diving, so that kind of works with the greens and the blues, and the kind of see the sunshine kind of dappling through a Caribbean ocean. Oh, I need a vacation. Oh, I want to take a trip.
I can't wait for the summer. It's just so nice. I love both colors.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm gonna ask a question.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So when you spun that,
yes.
is that the whole 5? Okay. I'm trying to talk here. You have the whole thing of fiber.
Yes.
And then you plied them together.
Yes.
Is it the same fiber? Like,
yeah,
did you
this
ply
one
the
was.
same? Okay,
yeah,
because I know sometimes you guys change color and whatever.
Yeah, and I've got something to show you later.
Okay.
So yeah, this one was, I'm trying to remember if it was I think it was a 3-ply that I did. So I just split the braid in 3 and then spun the singles and then plied them together.
It's fascinating.
So
I love it.
Yeah, spinning's the whole other rabbit hole, isn't it? You know, we keep hitting up crafts and trying new things, and yeah. I want to do all the things. Yeah, and I see Vivian, what Viv does on Instagram, and she weaves with a lot of her hand spun, and I'm just like, oh. She's such a beautiful maker. I always link her because I usually mention her on most of my podcasts. Yeah, what Viv does. She's just in Amherst. We met up once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so fun.
She's We missed each other at Knit East back in 2019.
Okay.
She was only there for the day. Anyway, we're just going to keep chatting.
Okay.
Next
so
whip.
Me?
Yes.
Me too? Okay.
And then I'll do a couple and then we'll pause on the whips and move on. So we've got some stuff to show on Sophie's podcast.
What else? I guess I can show this one too. I did not do a lot on this whip, but I'm going to show it anyways because I did do a little bit.
A little bit counts.
A little bit counts.
A little bit counts.
This is the Winter Rose Shawl, and it is by Marie-Élise Dugard. It is a free pattern, and so I have it on stitch cord because I had to. I can't make that apart. Can't take that apart. It's a triangular shawl, and it's really nice, and it has this pretty texture.
It is really pretty.
I know, and the color is just so amazing. This is, both yarns are from the Lab Fiber, which is in Ontario.
Yeah, the texture looks so good.
I
and
know.
That variegated, it's really popping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I finished that first part, and now I'm on some stockinette and then a garter, and I'm do that a little bit more, and then I go back into this.
Okay.
And then and then there's like lace at the end. Anyways, it's super nice.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I haven't knit much on this is because I had other commitments on the knitting. So I had to knit a gift, and then I have to finish a test knit. Anyway, so I have to make sure that those are done, and then I'm going to come back to this because I really like it. Yeah. And I do love working on shawls as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So are you carrying the yarn? Are you able to carry the variegated up while you're doing this garter stripe?
I am.
Or,
that's what I did.
Yeah.
I think
so less ends to weave in?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it a little bit, I think. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the ends at the end of a project.
It doesn't bother me that much. It depends. It depends if it's like too much, but yeah. It's like I'll have an evening. It's not like, oh yay, I'm gonna weave in the ends. But I know I have to do it, and if so, I sit down and for like an hour, and I just
I test knit a pair of socks. They're still up in here, and I have a bin here for gift knitting and stuff. And I test knit a pair of socks 2016, 2017, might even be earlier. And it was 3 different colors, and you had to change. It was like 8 rows or something, and you had to change the yarn.
Okay.
And nothing touched each other. And I've still not wound in the ends, woven in the ends, and I've still not given them away or worn them. They're just sitting there because I just, ugh.
Well, I say that, and I have smoke gets in your eyes. That pair of socks, I have them, and one sock is their ends are woven in, and the other isn't, and I'm totally wearing them.
Yeah, I did that too. Where was it? Knit night? I had an end pop out of a sock. Yes, my smoke gets in your eyes. We at knit night when we were there last time. Somebody was looking and kind of did this to the cuff to look at it, and then went bloop. I'm like, hi. People don't see the inside. No. And they're sample socks, so I don't wear them, right?
Okay. Well, I wear them, and I still have the ends out. It's fine.
It's fine. So, sock, I guess I have a new cast on, because, you finish the sock. Oh, no, that's not the sock. Hang on. You finish the sock, you got to cast a new one on. Always. This is I'm very color coordinated with this project. I had to find So spoiler alert, I have acquisitions coming up. I placed an order with Ginger Snap with Kim and Colin in Alberta.
I love their yarn.
Yeah. They had, was it 2 weekends ago? They had a sale. It was mystery bags.
Oh.
Mystery bags with flat rate shipping. So in DK and fingering and...
I feel bad that I missed out, but I'm like so glad I didn't because I don't need more yarn right now. But
there's a funny story coming, but I ended up sending in 4 different orders because she was refunding shipping overages and it was flat rate shipping no matter how much it was for $15, which is in Canada is unheard of.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I ordered, you know, my love of sock blanks. This is a double knit sock blank in the colorway Bang Bang. So, this is the sock blank.
So cool.
So this has 2 strands of yarn that are knit together. So I'm knitting socks 2 at a time. So I end up getting, as you pull it, there are 2 strands that come off the sock blank. So you can knit for as much as they can be matching with this, they are fundamentally matching.
Huh.
So
that's really cool.
Yeah. I love sock blanks. And it's, I mean, the yarn is kinky. That bothers some people. It doesn't bother me at all.
Because that blocks out, right?
Yeah.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just so fun to knit. So I am knitting, I've called these on Ravelry my neon trees.
They're so fun.
So this is my Wintery Woods sock pattern. And I'm knitting these as a gift for somebody. So I'm using my Wintery Woods. So toe up. And then I'm just working on the gusset increases across the back to be able to do that heel flap and gusset, which fits so nicely. So you can see where it's shifted into this purple kind of block on the blank, and then I'll come out of that and it'll be into the pinks and variegated again. So yeah, 2 at a time, toe up, just for keep my brain limber and practice these skills so I don't lose them.
I bought that pattern. And that's the next thing I want to knit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a great fit. But I'm going to have to knit more toe up with that heel flap and gusset. I have a couple pairs from years ago when I first tried the technique. But of course the sample socks are kept clean and pretty and nice to be sample socks for pictures and stuff in the future. And this is going as a gift. So I still don't have a pair of my own.
For yourself.
Yes. So that'll be coming at some point as well. And I'm just going to show one more I pulled out of hibernation. These were my Mind the Gaps Mind the Gap self-striping socks. I cast these on to go in for my colonoscopy because I just needed, you know, vanilla round and round socks. As I say, I don't like vanilla socks, but this with the color striping is just a hoot. Really enjoying it. So I've just started. This is the orange I'm doing up here. So this is the full repeat up to the end of the grey.
That is so cute.
And it's all of the underground stations in the London Underground.
Oh, okay.
So this is, when you look at the London Underground map, it's all kinds of different colours for all the different lines.
Okay.
So this is an older version. There's a new line now called the Elizabeth line for Queen Elizabeth, but I don't have that in there, but this is the rest of it. So I needed a quick vanilla project last night. We got home from work on Saturday. It was a crazy, crazy day in wine world yesterday. And we had some Formula One qualifying to watch. We don't watch sports, but Formula One, awesome. We started watching Drive to Survive on Netflix.
I saw that. Oh, my parents,
addictive.
My dad is like a total Formula One junkie. Yeah. So I watched a lot of it way back. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Schumacher and Villeneuve and all them.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. We watched a lot of it in the 70s because I was in England until 1981, and there was a racetrack quite close to us. I remember going and seeing not Formula One races, but other races like that. Anyway, so yeah, but I needed some just vanilla so I could watch the action on the screen. So this is what I picked up last night, and I did a couple inches.
It's fun.
3 and a bit stripes. So there's a race. The actual race is this afternoon. So who knows? I'm still well, I can tell you why I stopped. Am I doing a contrast heel flap and gusset, or am I going to do a short row heel, or am I going to do just knit the tube and do an afterthought heel? The original thought was afterthought. And I kind of stalled on heel, and that's kind of where I'm at. So maybe this won't be Formula One. Because if it's a heel, that's going to require a little focus.
Concentrating.
Yeah. So I've got a couple more whips. I'm going to show those on Sophie's and we'll chit chat some more about that. Yeah. So I'm going to show acquisitions that my ginger snap order. That's all there was. That's all. As I already said.
I'm sure there's a lot.
Yeah, well, so I did this, I said I had been talking to Kim and I had my first order. Now, they're all in plastic and I'm going to try and work with the glare, but this is, Kim recommended this one to me because they were mystery bags, so you don't know what you're getting. But Kim had said, oh, I have 3 skeins of this DK tweed. The color's been discontinued. And it's, oh, yeek.
Oh man, I can't believe I missed out on that.
Sorry. Okay.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. It's called Moon Sprite. It's Tweedy DK. I've got 3 skeins. Now, in my size, 3 skeins aren't going to be enough to do anything other than a shawl, probably. Or I don't know if it would be enough for a body of something if I did some striping or some color work. But it's super squishy and really pretty. So it's 85-15 merino nylon in the colorway Moon Sprite. And yeah, it's really, really pretty.
So nice.
So that was the first order. And then Kim posted that there was going to be, it was at that point it was flat rate shipping and she would refund shipping overages. So I just kept shopping and she said, just check it as local pickup so you don't pay any shipping at that point. Okay. So then of course I had to grab a fingering. Okay, I'm going to do this again. Sorry, I've done this before.
So that was a mystery pack?
This was a mystery pack. Okay, so this is totally more your colors than my colors, but how gorgeous.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. So they're all in the dust fingering base. And this one is Boardwalk. This one is, oh dear, filled something. And Heather. So I'm thinking it's, it could be a 3 skein shawl. It could be a faded cardigan for my daughter who is a neutral loving fan. Not sure, but boy, they're pretty.
Oh, so pretty.
Oh. I have to say, I did open it and look. This is a Sophie palette. We all have our color schemes.
Yep.
And then Kim also sells. Oh, I've lost them. Man down.
Oh,
these cute little needle stoppers. So I had to.
There's a wine cup.
Yes, I had to get the wine ones because I felt targeted. There's Eeyore in the top, and I've got a couple foxes, and then I love these Highland cows, Highland coos. So they're still in there because, as you know, when I show projects, I end up dropping stitches off the needles all the time. So I thought these would be kind of fun to have in my stash.
I do that all the time too.
And then, as I said, I placed three orders, I guess. 3 orders. No, 4, because it was the sock blank as well. So I placed 4 orders over the price scale of 2 days. And I got my package earlier this week and was like, ooh, pretty. So I'm like, ooh, it's another double sock blank called Turtle Slime. Fun, right?
I like that.
I'm like, and I'm trying to look back at my orders going, I don't think I ordered this. I thought I only ordered 1 blank. So I messaged Kim to say, got the package. It's lovely. I'm trying to go back through my invoices. And she says, no, I've sent you this one to use as a giveaway.
Oh, yay.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Because she also knows my love of a sock blank. So coming up, probably on the next episode in either late March or early April, I'll be doing a giveaway for this sock blank. So if you've never tried a sock blank, either double or single, it's a really fun way to knit a pair of socks. So this will be coming soon. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate that. So that's some acquisitions.
Oh, yeah. Do I share my...
Maybe we'll wait and you can show yours on yours. Let's say we're trying to figure out how to divide this up in a fairly easy way and make you go and look at Sophie's channel, and then you can look at Sophie's channel, maybe come back here. Yeah. So what we'll do... Do you want to do some questions?
Sure.
I think we've got dream knitting coming up, but I think we'll leave dream knitting because Sophie and Manon from La Violette are running a new knit along that we're gonna talk about, because I'm gonna totally have to get in on that. When you hear the theme, you'll know why. So I went on the interwebs and found some fun questions that we could ask each other and get answers for. So we're going to do some here and we'll do some on Sophie's in a little while. But like I said, Sophie and I have known each other for almost a year between the podcast and knit nights. But when we get together at knit night, all we do is talk about knitting and show off our knitting and, you know, sometimes stuff about the kids and hockey. And I know about stuff from the podcast, you know, and probably the same for you. But there's just some kind of fun little things that popped up on these questions that we thought might be fun to try.
They're so fun.
So we're going to ask questions of each other and we're both going to answer them as well.
Okay.
So we're just going to kind of pick and choose. So I've been talking a lot again, so
it's my turn.
Hit me.
Okay. Okay, so where is your favorite place in the world? Oh, I know these are so hard. I don't even know what I'm going to say.
There's going to be multiple. You know, I'm very much a homebody. My happy place on a Saturday night when I finish work, Saturday afternoon when I finish work, then I have 3 days off. So my happy place is sitting on the couch, my husband and I, with a glass of wine, and just that untapped potential of 3 days with as much crafting, with as little cleaning as I can possibly manage in those 3 days. Outside of the house, it has to be anywhere with water. I love a beach. I love walking along the sand, picking up shells, paddling my feet. I will paddle my feet in the ocean in November if the opportunity arises. I like to get my toes in the water, even if it's just my toes. Yeah. What about you?
Okay, so I haven't been in too many places. I'm the same. I think that's why, that's why we gel so well together, because my favorite place, I'm a homebody person. I love being at the house. I love crafting, and even I don't like cleaning, but when I'm off and I have time to actually clean, I enjoy to clean up a little bit and then take a break.
And enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yes.
Oh, that looks so nice.
Yes.
Why don't I do that more often?
Yeah.
Because it takes too much damn time.
Exactly. Exactly. So I love being at the house, but in places, I love anywhere that it's quaint. I love quaint little towns. I love PI. Love PI. Prince Edward Island.
Yeah.
I love Nova Scotia, Mahone Bay. Lunenburg.
Yes.
I love that. And I've gone to St. Andrews in New Brunswick. I love that too. So that's totally our jam. We would go for an escape weekend, just me and my husband, and he's so good. He lets me go into the little boutiques. I don't buy much, but it's just, we're just it's just so nice, and I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
anywhere little quaint village, that's my jam.
Yeah. We used to have a knitting festival here in New Brunswick called Knit East, and it was held in St. Andrews at the beautiful Algonquin Resort. Oh. And we would drink wine in the lobby and hang out on the couch and play with the beautiful Labrador, dog who lives there, and Ogle, the lovely gentleman in kilts.
Oh. Oh. You tell.
And be generally obnoxious.
But
that hasn't happened since 2019. It was an every 2-year thing, and of course COVID, and I'm not sure if it's coming back, but it was lovely to be in St. Andrews and be able to walk into little shops and stores and be awash in knitters and looking at, ooh, look at that shawl, ooh, look at that sweater, and there was a good knitter ratio in the town that weekend.
That's awesome. I totally miss that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. A little lighter. What does not belong on a pizza? This could be controversial.
Olives.
See, I love olives.
I'm picky, so I would say olives, or no, I don't mind mushrooms, but I don't love mushrooms. Yeah. I don't like olives.
Pineapple.
Well, if it's
anchovies.
No, not so safe.
But
I don't even think I've ever had that.
Yeah, I have once, and I'm not a big fish fan in the best of case, but then, you know, pineapple too.
Pineapple? Yeah, I don't think I would enjoy that. I don't know if I've ever had it, but like if you have ham and pineapple, I guess, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Olives.
Love olives.
Okay, I'm trying. Okay. I don't want to ask. Okay, I didn't know I was supposed to answer these questions.
That changes it.
Let's pick something else. What is the best live event you've ever been to?
It's usually the most recent one, and that's been rare these days, but I don't remember back in September I went to see Sting at the concert at the Avenir Centre here in Moncton, New Brunswick, and it was an amazing show. I was on a high for days and listening to all the Police and Sting music, and yeah, so for me it was the Sting concert that I was just at in September.
Awesome.
Yeah. And?
I have many. I really enjoyed this one. This one is safe for this podcast.
What do you mean? It's not a death metal concert? This gentle, softly spoken girl loves death metal. I'm like,
it's not. No, okay, I exaggerated. I love heavy metal. I love heavy metal music. I know it's so weird. I grew up on country. I totally grew up on country, 80s and 90s country. Love it. I've seen a lot of country artists that come through to Moncton. But my husband is a total grunge and rock and roll and heavy metal. Yeah. So that's what I listen to now mostly. So we went one concert. I went with my parents. And it wasn't heavy metal. It was country, and it was Shenandoah.
Okay.
And I went with my dad and my mom, but I was sitting beside my dad, and my dad was like singing along, and I was just like, oh, I just loved it so much. It was really nice. I really enjoyed that concert. And I guess the other one would be
go for it.
Okay, don't judge, okay?
It's no judgment. It's no judging.
So it's a rock concert, and it was.
Never heard of them.
I know. Don't go listen to them, please. Oh my god! I can't believe I said that. But I'm telling you, there's something therapeutic about heavy metal. Like you let out all the rage. It was so much fun. People were screaming, and I was like up in the air with like.
Is that why you're so nice? You let it all out in the death metal? I'm just like, maybe I just hold all my bitterness in and I'm just a crappy old woman.
Yeah, but yeah, that's me. I'm really weird. Oh my goodness. That was a good one.
Are you more likely to be early or late?
Oh, I'm always late.
Me too.
Really? Okay,
oh, yeah.
good.
Me too.
Bad. I always I don't always try to be early. But I always underestimate the time that it's going to take me to get ready.
Yeah.
Or like to get everything together.
Yeah. My husband was in the Navy, so he shows up if he's less than 15 minutes early for something, he's late. Oh my gosh. So over the years, there's been a lot of.
It's so funny. My husband is the same. Oh, and it drives me berserk.
I'm sure we drive them berserk as well. Because...
I know, yes. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Can we go?
Yeah.
No, I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
But so my son goes to hockey and they have to be there earlier because they have to get ready and all in the equipment and stuff. But like, it's like an hour or like sometimes he's just, if my husband's ready, then we all should be ready and get out of the house. But it's not it. Yeah. Anyway, so we're always like super early. So that's why now I'm bringing my knitting, and then I just knit in the car or at the.
Don't mind waiting if we've got the knitting.
I'm okay now.
Yeah. My husband and I work together on Saturdays, and we have to leave. We leave the house at 9:30, and he'll be ready at 9:05 with his coat on, and I'll look at him and go, and he's looking at me. I'm like, "Is it 9:30?" And he's like, "No." And I come out and I'm like, I'm getting my lunch ready, and he's now pacing in his coat and his shoes. And I look at him, is it 9:30? And he says, no. So we get out to the car, and every week I looked at him and I said, look, 9:27, I was early. Suck it up. It's a game we play.
Yeah. My husband is exactly the same. It drives him berserk. But whatever.
All right. Do one more.
One more? Okay.
One more. What are we? We're just at 40 minutes. So.
I wouldn't even know. Do you have any bad habits?
I had that one marked as well for mine.
I just saw it now.
Yeah, I do. I'm a procrastinator. I'm an awful procrastinator.
I am too.
Back in school days, you know, it was always last minute.
Cram.
Yeah.
Cram.
Yeah. And I've unfortunately given that tendency. My son is terrible for procrastinating. And you know, every time he annoys my husband, he's like, "That came from you." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." It might have something to do with always being late too, because I procrastinated so long. And then anyway, so yeah, procrastination. And I also have a terrible hand habit, which is better now that I knit. I pick my cuticles terribly when I'm stressed and I don't have anything going on with my hands. So I try to keep a lot of moisturizer on, and knitting definitely helps. Before I was knitting obsessively and had a very high stress job, my fingers would be bleeding constantly. Gross. Sorry. Stress. But yeah, that's probably my two worst.
Yeah, I'm yeah. All the time in anything. And yeah, I was the same. It works out okay in the end, but I get stressed and I'm like, why the heck didn't I start, I didn't listen to my husband. And like,
why did I do this to myself?
Why am I late? Why did I wait? Or whatever.
Because I knew better.
It's the same, yeah. That was my answer too.
Yeah. You think as you get older, you kind of learn these things. I remember I still have that feeling that I'm always looking for the person in the room that knows, you know, when you're in your teens and 20s, you look at somebody who's now my age in my mid-50s, and I'm like, wow, they've got it all together. I can't wait to be like that. If that person felt anything like I do, and I'm sure maybe they do, you know, I'm still walking in a room looking, who's got their shit together? Sorry, more than I do. Yeah, I think that's just, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit better, but yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to wrap things up for my half. A couple of little notes on my side. I got some footage for the end. I was in Halifax for a couple of days visiting a friend, which was nice. We spent last Sunday extremely hungover because we drank entirely too much on a Saturday night. We were drinking wine, which was fine, and then she decided to make all these fancy cocktails. Oh, delicious, but man.
I don't know how you. I can't. It takes me like days to get back to like I'm not feeling horrible.
Yeah. The older I get, the more it starts to feel like that. I've got some pictures. We went down to the waterfront. It was really cold and sunny here last Sunday, and same in Halifax. But we just felt so miserable sitting and feeling miserable. So we got all dressed up and warmed up and hats and everything, and went down to the waterfront and had a walk along the waterfront in the sun. It was beautiful. And then stopped for a little treat. We shared a muffin, cookie. We shared something that we shouldn't have, and had a big hot chocolate. And the world felt a little better.
That's nice.
So I got a little bit of footage of that at the end. There's no real design chat. I'm still working on stuff behind the scenes for Knit City Montreal. I've just sent a couple of other submissions in for some other books and magazines, and I'll find out about those in a couple of weeks. So there may be some secret test knit calls, but there may be nothing, and I'll just release them as my own patterns. Right now there's swatches and sketches and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So if they don't get accepted for the submission for the publications, then I'll just release them on their own. I'm pondering. I have a Mrs Maisel yarn, and I just saw it on Amazon Prime. I love that series, Mrs Maisel. I have a Mrs Maisel yarn, and the new series, the last season, comes out in May. So I'm wondering, should I whip up a quick Mrs Maisel sock pattern and get that released for when the new season comes out in May?
You can do that, and then I can watch the show because I've heard about it. Was it good?
So good. So good. Filthy Mouth. It's all about a female comedian in the late 50s, early 60s. And her husband, anyway, it's just, and she's stand-up comedy and how she fares as a woman in that world. And yeah, very funny, but very well done. And the outfits, the hats and dresses and a lot of fun.
A lot of inspiration.
Yeah. So there's things working in the background. Mm-hmm. Plus, you're going to see on Sophie's, there's some dream knitting going to be happening, and some actual cast-ons happening as well. I think that's all I have. I should probably look at my notes. So I suppose if I've forgotten anything, I'll just shove it onto Sophie's. Oh, spinning. Oh, spinning. Yes. So I'd asked everybody, we've been talking about this fiber and this spin for quite a while. So So I had spun up this single ply in the pastel rainbow Rolegs, and I decided to go with Fireball for the second ply.
It's so good.
You can see, probably might not have been the best fiber because it's got a lot of neps and stuff in there, so it's a little thick, thin spin. And I'll show you it plied, but I do find it's bossing around. So I'm plying this on my eel wheel 6. So I'm about halfway through the plying, I think. So the orange is definitely in charge, and there's neps and stuff happening, but I like it. I think I like it.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
gorgeous. It looks like spin cycle.
That's the fun thing about hand spun is, it's going to have some weird kind of thick and thin, but it'll probably end up in something color worky just because. But I think I am glad I went with the Fireball versus the hot pink. I think would have been too much, and I don't know if that kind of sagey bluey green would have worked. But
I think that's the one I had said the orange and the teal.
Yeah. So
it's so hard. It's so hard to picture them together.
Yeah.
You knew that the orange was going to be okay.
Yeah. Even though it's totally not my color, and I got quite a few comments. I'm not a fan of orange, but I think it's got to be the orange. So. But
it looks very.
It was the orange. So next time I am here, that will be finished and washed and counted, and I'll be able to show you as a finished skein. Then it'll just go back into my stash and sit there until I find something I want to do with it. I am making all the noise.
I actually have a question.
Yes.
I don't know if I should ask it here. Have you ever done... Okay, so you're doing the spinning.
Yeah.
Drop spindle. Did you ever do that?
That's where I started.
That's where
I started.
I'm really thinking I want to start.
Yeah. Well, remind me, and I've got a drop spindle, and I'll send you home with some fiber and some YouTube thoughts that you really don't... You're going to love me when you fall down this rabbit hole. I was in St. John, New Brunswick back in 2019 winter. There was a knit together that Cricket Cove in St. John held, and there was a big, so all the St. John girls were going to be there, and Amanda from Sweet Skein Mine was there, and it was just at the mall in the food court kind of area. Okay. Cricket Cove set up some tables, and pre the world shutting down, and none of these things seemed to have started back up. However, after we finished our knit and chat, Amanda and I walked over to Good Vibrations, which is only a couple minutes away from the mall in Uptown. And Liz at Good Vibrations sells a lot of fiber, and she had drop spindles. And Amanda was like, you should do this with me. I want one. We should do this. So we both bought a spindle, and we both bought fiber. And then spent... It's like learning anything new. It can be a little frustrating. Yeah. And trying to get the feel of it. YouTube is your friend. There's lots of videos on how to drop spindle and how to start.
Thank God.
The big joke was with my husband, my drop spindle, it's quite a heavy spindle. So, you'd be, spinning. I was doing the park and draft method where you kind of, you hold the fiber, but you spin the spindle. Okay. So you're trapping all of the twist in the yarn between the spindle and your finger, and then you just hold, and then you just kind of let it go and let it. So
I saw something like that.
Yeah, so it's called park and draft. That's the easiest way to get started. But then, things go wrong, it gets too thin, and the yarn breaks, and the spindle drops on the floor, on the hardwood floor. My husband goes, can you put a towel underneath that? He says, you're going to be dented. We're going to have extra distressed hardwood floors. So... because you're just spinning along, and there's so much going on that you're focusing on one thing, and you're not paying attention to what's happening below necessarily, and it's getting thinner and thinner, and plunk, it goes. So yes, before Sophie leaves today, she'll be leaving with a drop spindle and some fiber to play with.
Well,
And I'm planning on taking my little electric eel wheel, my little nano electric spinner, to our next knit night in a couple of weeks.
Oh, cool.
Because I had a couple of people mention that. And so I figured I would take it with some fiber, and I can show people if they're interested.
Oh, that's cool.
People can see how I do it, and if they want to have a quick play, they can have a quick play. Because I have it on a battery pack, so it's totally mobile. And so I thought we might have a little fun at knit night with my little spinner.
That's amazing. I am totally there.
March 20-something, whatever the third Tuesday of the month is.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. So if you're in Southeastern New Brunswick or want to come and join us, we are at Cavoque Brewery the third Tuesday of the month. Knitting and a lot of chatting and some beer, and I drink wine because I don't drink beer. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's awesome.
All right. So with that, we're going to end off. I saved some wine for Sophie's half, so she'll be doing more talking, so I'll be able to sit and drink.
This one was easy.
So what we're going to do is we're going to switch cameras. We're going to put Sophie's camera on the tripod, and we're going to go again. So if you've been here and not watched Sophie's, please hop over to Cozy Meadow Knits. Everything will be linked below that we've talked about. We didn't do any of that. We're on Instagram.
We are.
I'm Knit Sip Happy on Instagram and Ravelry. And Sophie is?
I'm Cozy Meadow Knits on Instagram and Ravelry too.
They will all be linked below. If my editing brain is with me, I will have put it on the screen about 49 minutes ago when we first started recording.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Happy knitting. Happy sipping. Cheers.
Cheers.